Hey up everybody, my name's Joshua Morrison, director of Johnny Moz's Lessons in Confidence, and today I want to talk a little bit about the cinema, right? So I'm not someone who actually goes to the cinema on a mega frequent basis, but whenever I do go, it's always a nice little time. Even if I'm seeing a movie that is complete, garbage. I think the worst movie I've seen in the cinema is Grown Ups 2. It was really bad, as you can imagine. I mean, it's Adam Sandler at his worst, but you know what? I went and I actually had a good time. Even though the movie itself was terrible, I had a good time, right? And it's the same way I've gone to see good movies in the cinema. I saw Interstellar in the cinema. That was a good movie. I saw Independence Day, the original, in the cinema. That was really good. And all sorts of films that you see, right? And I think the being in that environment makes the film a little bit better, right? In most cases, particularly with blockbusters, particularly with things with big action scenes and big names and all that kind of stuff, the spectacle is kind of represented by the environment that you're in, and that helps to appreciate what's going on in the film a lot more. Comparatively, watching some small indie sort of thing in a big cinema doesn't quite have the same impact on me compared to if I was to watch that, say, at home on the telly, because it's a smaller film, so I feel like it deserves a bit of a smaller environment to actually watch it. Now, if you're someone that goes to the sort of Quentin Tarantino school of philosophy, or the Christopher Nolan school of philosophy around cinemas, you might quite disagree with that because it's kind of streaming and all these various things are killing the cinema experience. And that certainly is true. Cinemas are failing all across the country. This one's just opened up. I'm not sure why. It'll probably be here for about 2 years and then it's going to disappear. I haven't actually been in yet. I'm not actually going in after the video. I'm just doing a video here and then I'm going to fuck off down that way. And basically, the reason that I sort of thought I'd come out here is look at the films that are here, right? So you got Moana 2, you got Gladiator 2, you got Paddington 3, you got Red 1, and that's just the name of the film, and it's quite a lot. That's a lot of sequels, and that's an issue that's always been around, is sequelizing. It's the fact that people want something that's familiar to them. People want something that they can recognize, and you know what? I'm not going to fault people for that. I'm the same. The new Alan Partridge series is coming out next year. I'm excited for it, right? He could go out and he's made plenty of serious. Steve Coogan has gone and made plenty of serious new original things, and I've just not bothered with them. But I keep up with the Alan Partridge because I like it, right? So we all do it, and let's not pretend like we're better than other sort of people who do just love seeing the new sequels or the new Marvel movies or whatever. Because we all have that. We all have our comfort viewing. We all have that thing that resonates with us. And that's fine. And I'm happy to have this kind of entertainment that I might not be into if it makes other people happy. Because that's the most important reason. That's why we make stuff, right? Because we want to make some kind of creative expression that resonates with people. And sure, it might not resonate with me. I don't like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think it's a load of shite. But it clearly resonates to millions and millions of people who love it, and it helps them. I bet the MCU has stopped someone from offing themselves. I bet that kind of thing has happened. I bet it's brought people together. I'm sure relationships have formed over a brilliant experience seeing Thor 2, which is one of the worst ones, right? So all of these things kind of come together in this cinema, right? Well, not this one, but all sorts. And it's not just Big View, Cineworld, whatever the American ones are called, right? Those big chain cinemas that show the new blockbusters like these, right? Well, this isn't one of them, actually. This is a smaller India sort of one. And there's a few of those. There's one in Barnes, I can't remember the name of it, that does loads of random old films and stuff. I saw Full Metal Jacket there. I saw Rocky there. Saw a couple other films, I can't remember what. But you get the general point, right? Is you're seeing old stuff in the cinema, you're seeing kind of classics, etc., etc. And I think there's a lot of that kind of going on, and that can help bring people together as well. So if you're not into one thing, you've got another thing for you. And I think we should start going out into these collective experiences more and trying to get out of the house, right? Because it's very, very, very easy to, get lost in the Netflix streaming. You end up going on episode 1, and then before you know it, you're on episode fucking 9, right? And it's annoying because it's the cliffhangers. It's the cliffhangers at the end of each episode that get you. And then after the 5th cliffhanger, you're kind of just exhausted. You're like, fuck off with the cliffhangers. Just give me a resolution, for God's sake. This is why I don't really keep up with serious, serialized drama TV. Because it goes on so long and it's constantly blue balling you until it gets to the end. Right? That's how it feels anyway. But with a film, I like a film because it's a single collective experience. If you're in a cinema, you've got other people, and even though in the UK we don't clap and all that sort of stuff, it's nice to hear like the it's nice to hear like other people laugh in a comedy, even if it's not particularly good comedy. You're there laughing with other people. People were laughing at the bloody Grown Ups 2 film. It wasn't a completely dead audience. And if I was to go back to that film, like there's the bit where he jumps off a cliff and his anus kind of spreads over another man's face, right? That's the kind of humor we're talking about. It's not particularly funny stuff, but with other people laughing, it kind of allows you to loosen up and to laugh. And I think that's what the magic of the cinema is. It's the other people being there. Like, sure, it's nice once in a while to be in a cinema and it's literally just you on your own. But imagine if that was every single time you went to the cinema. It'd be kind of dead. It's the same reason if I was a multi-millionaire, I wouldn't really want to make my own private cinema because it would just feel lonely, just sitting in this big auditorium all on my own while a thing plays at me. I just feel like that would be, it'll be a little bit Last Act of Citizen Kane, you know? Wouldn't be too into that. So that's generally the overall point of this video, is just a few musings on cinemas in general, because they are dying. And I think what's going to replace the View Cinema and the Cineworlds and all of these things, showing these big blockbusters, because I do think the blockbuster in general is dying. I think what's going to replace this is, because we're going to have this need to communicate and to converge and convene in certain areas, right? For the sake of some purpose, right? What we're going to find is we're going to start seeing more small picture houses, independently owned sort of things, that instead of showing the new films, the new blockbusters or whatever, they'll show just whatever they think might resonate with people. Do they think Rocky might work? Yeah, go for it. Do you think the Rocky Horror Picture Show might work? Yeah, go for it. Do you think Rocky 2 might work? Yeah, go for it. So you'll slowly, over the course of probably the next 25, 30 years, you'll start seeing more and more small picture houses, maybe one screen, maybe like a rooftop car park sort of showing sort of thing, or maybe we'll just start putting projectors in the parks, you know, because projector technology is getting a lot better. I've gone to someone's house and they just had a projector, just like it was normal, right? And it looked bloody good as well. Like, he projected it onto his wall, like the entire wall, like the size of one of these windows, right? That was the size of his TV, and it looked good. The colors were crisp, right? So if you extrapolate that out to maybe a slightly larger group context of maybe 20, 30 people, you could definitely get 20, 30 Rocky Horror Picture Show fans to come down to one particular area with one person with a projector and make that happen. So I don't think the cinema experience will die. I think it will change and it will adapt the same way that it has throughout the ages, the same way that in like 1895, people went to the cinema, which wasn't really a cinema, it was just a small auditorium, like quite a small one, and they showed the train film, you know, the thing where the train's coming towards the camera, and loads of people fled the scene because they thought the train was going to come and hit them, right? So it's gone from that to seeing Avatar 2 in the Cineworld, right? So I think from there, I think that's bloated and hit its peak in terms of largeness. I think now we're on a trajectory downwards away from scale and large scale kind of films and more towards smaller independent works, and we're going to start seeing more community driven cinemas and less chain owned corporate sponsored sort of ones, which in a way is good, but I also do think that in general it means less money for pictures as a whole. So we're going to start seeing less high budget productions, less $100 million budgets, more $1 million budgets. But I think with the advent of new technologies that make the democratization of film a lot easier, you know, like I can film this and it looks basically film-like. I know it's not the most interesting shot in the world. I don't pretend to be like some brilliant director of photography or anything, but it is a shot that could be in a film. It's shot on super 35mm, so I don't see why it couldn't be in a film, right? And that costs 600 quid, that camera, right? And as time goes on, in 15 years, it'll probably cost 200. And everything will become easier to do from the individual point of view. You'll be able to make something like this. You already can make something like this if you so want to. Right? You can make a film like this. Look at like the Joel Haver projects. Some of them have actually been screened. Look at the Big Les show with Tumor Island 3, where they screened that in a little tour. They did a little cinema tour of the UK. They also did one in Australia, I think one in America as well. But yeah, they did all that kind of stuff. And so I think we're going to start seeing more of that, more community-driven cinema experiences and film experiences, and less Paddington in Peru, and Gladiator 2. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you managed to get something out of it. If you disagree with anything I said, please let me know. Vice versa, if you do agree, let me know. Yeah, that's basically the video. So have a good rest of the day. Take care, everybody. Bye.